All right. I'll start off just obviously an incredible experience going over to Berlin and having that opportunity to go play there in front of that amazing crowd for the Colts organization and for the NFL. It was awesome to go over there and get a win. You know, got the bye week now, so doing some self-scout stuff, watching the game, cleaning that stuff up, and then get some rest and get ready to go for Kansas City after the bye.
Thanks, Coach. If anyone has any questions, feel free to drop your name. Chap, you want to go ahead?
Yeah, just to double check, is Grover okay? I know they checked him for the concussion. Did he come home okay?
Yeah, he's good. Yeah, he
Okay.
returned to the game and played in the game too, so he's good.
Also, again, players are off this week. Coaches, you give them, are you there for a couple of days and then take off? What's the plan there?
Yeah, we're working just some self-scout stuff here today, and then I'll give them some time with their families during this week.
When you look at the way things have gone the last couple of games with the protection and the sacks and the pressure, I guess what's your level of concern? And I guess once a team sees that you have that issue instead of weakness, what do you look to fix that going forward?
Yeah, I don't have a huge level of concern. I think when you see the stat line of sacks, I think every sack has a story to it. And I always look at myself first, and there's certain calls that I could have called better to put our guys in better position, so those don't happen. So that's on me. Those things that happened in the game, I got to do better, for those guys.
Jake.
Hey Shane, on the first drive with the turnover on downs, 2nd and 6, it looked like Jonathan dang near got down to the first down marker, but he was called very short. Did you ever get an explanation on that?
Yeah, I think I didn't, but they might have saw Bort's knee in the pile go down. That's what it looked like watching the tape, and that's what they
Hmm.
called. And so obviously we're looking at challenging it and just didn't get a quick enough copy on there to get that done. Otherwise, definitely would have challenged, that to get us to that, 3rd and 1, third and half
Yeah,
a yard for sure.
gotcha. Thanks.
James.
Shane, when you look at your offense as a whole, I guess how would you evaluate Daniel Jones over the last 2 weeks? And I say that because people outside of your building are like, okay, he has 7 turnovers over the last 2 games. What changed between the first 8 games when he only had three?
Yeah, I think he's been doing a really good job. I mean, we talk about moving the football up and down the field. I think obviously just having two hands on the ball in the pocket, moving forward is a big part of it for us, and he understands that. But I still think he's been playing great for us. I mean, he played. I thought yesterday he did some really good things. Obviously, a game-winning drive there, hitting Tyler. Some big time plays. He had some big time scramble plays in that game to keep the chains moving. I mean, 3rd and 21 there when we needed it, and he got it to 4th and 2, and obviously hit Tyler on the 4th and 2 there at the 40-yard line to set up the tying field goal to go to overtime. So, I think there's a lot of good there, a lot of good, and we just got to keep improving and getting better.
And then one follow up, weeks now, it's probably going to be a meme for Daniel, but like he got hit in the mouth and had all the that going on in the game. Did you know that was happening, or were you like, man, my guys? Afterwards, you're like, wow, my guy was just doing his thing and never once said, hey, I'm probably bleeding a little more than you normal.
Yeah, no, I didn't even notice it until after the game, until people showed me, because he didn't say a word and he just kept playing, and that's part of it. That's part of his toughness. That's part of his grittiness, and he just keeps fighting.
Kent.
Hey Shane, what goes into the decision to take the ball when you win the flip to begin the overtime?
Um, Part of that is, people have different philosophies, but a little bit of it is like if you look around the league, some of the times, if you take the ball first, and let's just say you stall out for some reason, right? You punt them and back them up. And then they got to go the length of the field. So you got an opportunity to go score there and possibly use the clock, and get it down. You might have a 7, 8 minute drive and they only have 2 minutes left in that situation. So that's part of the philosophy right there. And especially if you punt it and back them up, then you get a stop there, then you get another shot at it, is part of the philosophy there, Kent.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Chap.
Yeah, Coach, we've talked last year, this year about Alec Pierce and how he's playing. How do you track his progress over the last 2 or 3 years? Just expanding his game, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, he's been arrow up since he's got here. And, he's making big time plays down the field. His intermediate game is making big strides. So he's able to do a lot for us offensively, moving him around, trying to get certain matchups. His route running ability coming in and out of the breaks have been huge for us. He's made huge strides in that. His catch radius has been strong. So he's been awesome for us last year, and obviously this year, the way he's playing has just been phenomenal for our football team.
And the trust factor that a quarterback has to have on the 50-50 balls, I mean, that was a perfect example on the touchdown, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was huge. The quarter safety was kind of a little bit low there, and he wheeled back around, and Daniel saw him there and sent it and gave him a chance. And obviously, going up and getting that thing to get our second touchdown, second score of the game was huge for us. But yeah, a lot of trust and faith when that ball's up in the air that he's going to come down with it.
Just a few more, Jake.
24 hours later, what'd you think of Sauce's performance, coming from Jersey to Indy and then Indy to Germany and being able to play an entire game?
I thought he played great. Going back and watching the tape on the plane, and then this morning again watching it, just the stickiness and coverage that he had. Shoot, he almost got the pick six there on the 1 3rd down. He was all over it, reading the quarterback and jumping that route. That's the instincts, that's the feel that he has. So, really excited to have him on our football team going forward because he's a hell of a player.
Unrelated, but do you guys anticipate evaluating the kicking position throughout the bye week?
Not right now. No.
Okay.
We got a lot of faith in Badge. Obviously, he kicked that game-tying field goal. Obviously, he'd want to have those other ones back, but that's all part of football.
Okay.
We'll go with Nathan, and then James will be our last question.
I know this was announced when you guys were in Germany, but not being there, wanted to try to get a little bit more clarity. I know Buckner was put on IR on Friday. You told us last week that I think there were no injuries that you guys knew of coming out of the game on Monday. Can you give us any sense of the timeline on when his injury really flared up, that kind of, started him with missing practice Wednesday and Thursday and then being put on IR a couple days later?
Yeah, I think that was just one of those deals that happened early in the week. He came in, whatever Monday or Tuesday or whatever it was, and just had some pain there in the neck. So, we don't have a timetable on his return, but we're very hopeful that he'll be back this season for sure.
And then I had one other follow-up. I know you were asked earlier about the offensive line and Daniel. We saw some great moments with him scrambling. I think he had 7 rushes for 53 yards, including that really key one there on the 3rd and 21. What differences are you seeing in those moments when he's ends up taking a sack versus those plays where he's able to get out of the pocket? Is there anything schematically that you guys are getting differently in those places, or is it him just being able to get out of the pocket better in those instances, and then he's got a lot of open field?
Yeah, I think it just depends on the play type, what's going on around him, how the pocket is, if it's collapsed on him, does he have space to get out and make a play? Sometimes you don't, sometimes you do. Like I said, he made some big scrambles, like you said, yesterday for us in those situations. And then, like I said earlier, there's some situations that I could have done a better job of putting him in on some of those plays.
Gotcha. Thanks.
And then James, last question.
Well, 2 more, and I promise you can go to the bye week. One, and he talks about Alec Pierce, the development as a route runner, but on JT's 83-yard run, he's coming across the field to block. As much as he's grown as a pass catcher and he's entering a higher level, I think, of being a wide receiver in this league, how much did plays like that still define who Alec Pierce is? Because that's not going to go in a stat book anywhere. But, JT was talking about when he breaks, one, he knows 14 is going to go find somebody to put, on the ground.
Yeah, that's the effort that you look for on tape. I mean, even when we're watching opponents on tape, guys that chase and run to the football, I mean, that's the standard, right? And so obviously he does the standard in the pass game, but he also does it in the run game. Like you said, on that 83-yard run, he's hauling down there to get that block on the 3rd level defender. So that's what you want out of your guys. And he's been doing a hell of a job of that for us all year.
And then the last one, and I know, again, if you convert all your 4th downs or chance you take, no one has an opinion. So how do you balance the aggression? Because obviously the noise gets louder after last game because it's like, oh, you should have took the points. So how do you view it when, you've had so much success and then you didn't have it, here in Berlin?
I understand that this is, results driven on fourth downs, and I got a lot of faith in our guys going for those in those situations, and we've been pretty darn good at them all year. And obviously, I think we were 50% or whatever it was yesterday on some of those. And credit to Atlanta, they stopped us on those. But yeah, I feel good about it. And like I said, when I go for those situations, it does depend on the game situation, where it's at, time on the clock, what the score is, when I do make those decisions.
That'll
Thank
do
you.
it, Coach. Thank you.
Enjoy your week, Coach.
All right, you guys too. We'll see you next week. Thanks.